Volume is fine. All right.
And right now, Ice is not.
Ice Leffen versus Scar and SFAT.
Yeah, they were both stuck in steel for a second. That's it. Yeah, FX couldn't get over there.
And this is tight. Oh,
That's fine. That's fine.
It's
All the pauses.
Are they calling it?
I don't know.
Because there's a dispute. Hold up.
So Scar, I guess, thought he was out of stock, so he wanted to press start to take the stock.
So yeah, basically, as you guys saw, pause incident, which is why you always want to have pause turned off, because some people actually like legit spam the pause button, and as you can see, it was like multiple pauses in there. So yeah, basically what it leads to is that Leffen believes that Scar should take his stock because he interfered with the game, right? And Leffen actually got a lot of hate for this incident, and I don't remember exactly what the crowd was chanting, but I think it was something along the lines of Leffen sucks or something. People were really mad. I think these days people probably on average would have a higher understanding. I mean, I personally think Leffen was in the right. I'm not sure if every tournament player would have enforced the rule, because even if the pause happens, right, I guess you don't really technically have to do it. Even though actually, if I got to decide, I feel like if a pause happens, it probably should be enforced that the stock is taken regardless. I don't think it should be up to the player really, and the reason why is because if someone do enforce the stock being taken, and some people don't, right, then you very clearly will have a divide, and people will maybe get like social pressure or whatever you want to call it, and feel like, oh, I shouldn't take the stock. I mean, it's not the most fun way to win, obviously, but once the pause happens, you can't really go back exactly to how it was. So, I mean, according to me, it should be enforced in the rules. If someone accidentally pauses, like in this type of scenario, then yeah, it should just be the stock taken. So it's, to me, it actually always felt crazy how this ended up being so much drama about.
Ice is saying, let's play it out. Leffen wants this win.
What?
Listen up.
There it is.
If the game is paused accidentally while attempting to steal a life, the opposing team may deem that life forfeit.
Wow.
So if the game is paused accidentally to take a life, the opposing team, which is Leffen and Ice, can deem that life forfeit, meaning they can force Star to just run it off.
That stock you wanted, that was yours,
Done.
doesn't exist. 7 stocks, 8 stocks in this team match.
Finito. And they made him do it. I respect that.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, that's a big one. Leffen and Ice was up 1-0 in a best of 3, but yeah, that's huge. That basically seals the deal. It's very hard to come back in this type of scenario for like SFAT. Not impossible, obviously, but it's a very big deal. Like, as soon as Scar had to take the SD, it was pretty much over. But to be fair, like, the pause, if no SD was enforced, it would have benefited Scar and SFAT from what it looked like. So, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I think also some of the chance was like, it didn't like stop right as this set stopped. I think like even in the crew battle, which I believe was after this, it's many years ago now, so I don't quite remember. But yeah, I'm pretty sure chants happened at that time as well that were not very polite by any means.
I respect the rules.
Play to win.
And you know SFAT is heated right now.
He can be all he wants. That was on Scar.
Yeah.
That's something you got to be careful for. I honestly appreciate somebody playing
the rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think too many get overlooked, and if you're going to have a Bible of them, why not use them? With all that being said, all the momentum's done from SFAT. We don't even need to worry about him.
Yeah. And this game and set is over.
Yes. Leffen and Ice.
And this is why Leffen is the most hated man on Smash Bros.
Damn.
He's actually living it up.
I Never. Oh my goodness.
I've heard this plenty of times, but what the crowd doesn't understand is that with a person like this, they're just feeding fuel to the fire.
Yeah, that was yeah, kind of bad. Kind of bad. Off to a spicy start, I guess. I kind of feel like I remember. Don't 100% quote me on this, but I have a feeling that I heard Leffen mention this at some point. Scar was mad, right? Which you also can understand. Like, it was a tight set, and deep down he was probably mad at himself for pausing as well. But I think he, according to Leffen, said something along the lines that this never happens in like my country or something along these lines. And then Leffen said something along the lines of, well, now it did. I was like, damn, talk to him, son. Yeah, it was, yeah. It was just funny. It was just funny. I think it was something, yeah, just funny.
Oh man, not a good position.
Come on.
Yes! Oh, the force. Oh!
Oh, yeah, this one.
Yo! Oh my goodness!
Oh, you can't get grabbed, man.
Yeah, tell him, Lev.
Will this be?
Tell him.
Bro. It's over.
Very nice recovery. Oh, but he's
it's over.
Switzerland. Oh, almost made a 4-stock comeback. Good job to
Good
Unknown.
job, Unknown. I hope this is winners, right? So he can come back.
Yeah, he could definitely come
boy.
back.
I'm rooting for my boy Unknown.
Wow.
Wait, so
Here we go. We got some news.
DJ Nintendo with the breaking news.
With the
DJ
breaking,
Nintendo.
with the breaking round 5 news.
DJ, what is this breaking news?
Breaking news is that all tournament, Mewtwo King has been going back to the same stage he's been winning on, apparently. So now, Game 5 has to be replayed.
Alright, yeah, I remember this one as well. Okay, so back in the day at some tournaments, I don't remember exactly when this changed, but back in the day for Melee events, it was actually in the rules that you could not go back to the last stage you won on. So basically what happened in a lot of sets was that, let's take Mewtwo King as an example, right? He lost game 1, won on FD, won on the opponent's counter pick, then lost, and then he could go back to FD because FD was not his last win. This was part of the rule set for a long time, which is obviously incredibly bad. Don't ask me why that was ever like a thing, but it was a thing for a while. And I imagine that's what happened in this set, but it was not allowed for this tournament to go back to, you know, like more similar to how the rules work these days. But the thing is also like, I feel like in this type of scenario, maybe Ryan Ford said something like before the match, but I feel like in that type of scenario, you gotta call a TO. You gotta call a TO. If you feel that this is against the rules, then you shouldn't play the match or start the match. Then you should double check with a TO and then start the match. I feel like you can't like afterwards be like, oh, this is wrong. So yeah, even like if a rule set thing ends up happening that is like, you know, you're not following the rules, but I feel like if the match is played out, then it's played out. It's been other cases with like stages being wrong. I know when I lost to HBox at Paragon Orlando, he went back to Dreamland when he was not allowed to. But the thing is, I also forgot. And I don't think HBox did it intentionally. He actually did it twice even. But I didn't even think about it myself. And then I know Plop did it with Stadium against HBox at Genesis. And nothing happened. And the thing is, nothing should have happened in these cases. It was my fault for not pointing it out against HBox. And it was HBox's fault against Plop for not pointing it out. So we just had to take the L, right? So yeah, so it's like, yeah, it was my fault for not like remembering, and it was HBox's fault for not remembering in his set versus Plop. So it's like, it can happen, but it's like if someone like right after, you know, one of these games, like, oh, replay, you know, game 5 or something like that, it's like, No, you can't replay. You gotta say something beforehand. Mistakes happens.
Because Mutaking cannot go back to FD to a stage he already played on in the same set.
So wait, game 5.
I mean, Sammy, you disagree because you could argue that anyone could try to cheat. I mean, I do see your point, but I still disagree. If you don't call beforehand, you can play out the match, hope you win, and if you don't, be like, oh, let's replay. If Ryan won the match initially, imagine like what if Mutaking was like, oh, I couldn't go back there, and let's say he didn't know about it. Could he be like, oh well, I was not allowed to go here, so we should replay game 5? No, if the match starts, result stands, or at least that's how it should be, if you ask me.
Oh, Mutaking versus Unknown is going to be replayed?
It will be replayed.
That's right. Oh, there we go! Let's go!
100% disagree.
Ooh.
Second blood.
Unknown is not falling for this stuff.
Ooh. Unknown just needs to keep playing a lot of hit and run. He has 2 stocks to
Ooh.
spare.
The thing is, Mutaking can still come back from
Yes,
this.
he can. Not with moves like that, though.
Oh, he should just.
He gave in.
Okay, Mutaking is in losers.
Yeah, I think this scenario, no one ended up being happy.
Ready, man.
Unknown.
Mutaking run the set already. Nah, we don't play that. Unknown?
Keeping it together. A lot of weight dashes out of shield. Zoning him out. Hungrybox probably isn't used to this rate. Ooh, that's it. Wobbles is in grand finals. Arizona has done it. The Ice Climbers have been freed.
Wait, do they know it's 2 out of 3? I think they think it's 3 out of 5.
All right, this one is so stupid. This one is so stupid. I think we have talked about this one before, but anyway, to recap. Basically what happened is this is winners finals at EVO 2013, and EVO's own rule set stated best of 5 for winners final, loser final, and grand finals. So Wobbles and Hungrybox placed this set going in with a mentality that it's best of 5. Then, you know, okay, let's
I don't know. I think
let the video
Do they know?
do a little bit of talking.
Someone's got to tell them. Yeah, here comes Tom Cannon. Yeah, I think they think it's 3 out of 5 because that's the standard.
And there's the handshake. Hungrybox.
Oh, Hungrybox is not happy about this.
There's the handshake.
So yeah, they went into the set thinking it was best of 5 because EVO's own rule set stated it was best of 5. Then they were running behind schedule and basically changed it to best of 5 only in grand finals. And if I remember correctly, EVO stated that the players should have asked. Basically saying that all the time you should keep asking in case rule changes happens. So basically in top 8, you could be like, oh, did the rules change before next set? Did the rules change? Because if they are making rule changes and not informing anyone, and then they blame the players that you should have asked. It's like, how are you supposed to know that you guys changed the rules, not telling anyone, and then you blame the players for not asking? It's a very bad situation. It's a very bad situation. Yeah, I feel bad for HBox in this scenario. This should never have happened. But it's like, what could he really do? It's like, even if he was fighting it, they would not have backed, you know, they would not have backed off. So he basically was forced to take the L, even though he was not in the wrong. So yeah, that's a very bad one. This is a bad one.
And Wobbles.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing as Psycat as well. He didn't get his bans. That's also a thing in best of 3. No, you do get bans in best of 3, but not in best of 5. Oh yeah, no wait, sorry. Yeah, no, that's correct, but yeah, what you said, yeah, it makes sense. Since they did play the set thinking it was best of 5, yeah, they didn't ban, which is why, like, yeah, you saw Dreamland in game 3, and you saw FOD in game 2. Yeah, I'm not focusing on chat as much. It's possible that sometimes someone says something first. I'm mainly focusing on the video, not chat as much.
Such a story. Such a story. And Hungrybox sitting there in defeat, you know. Wow. Tell he's not happy.
Yeah, like HB's laser.
Oh, boy.
Great DI though.
Dude, how many times has S-Side even gotten grabbed this game?
Oh,
He gets away.
oh
Oh my god,
tried to read
takes
the
a risk with
fade.
the up air,
Oh, and he missed
and
the tag.
H-Box immediately capitalizes, turns around to the crowd with the pop-off as well. Or was it Crunch? We'll never know. Maybe he was just summoning his
thought
coach.
coaching was banned in semifinals.
Word?
I'm like pretty confident that it's actually not allowed in semifinals. I would like to see someone check. Oh, and you can see it. You can see the shaking in the fingers.
Yeah,
That
I
was so
actually could
close.
see that. I wasn't going to make a point of it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure this is not allowed. Yeah, there goes Crunch. Yeah. It's still conceivably. Oh, he's
That
living.
was tricky. That was really tricky. I thought he was going to clip onto the stage. I think H-Box thought so too. Look at this, 61 already.
And that's it.
Oh my god, a 3 stock in game 2.
He's feeling it. And G Money coming up.
We had
you know he's not saying anything. He's saying, my man's, where are you going?
I like that a lot. That's kind of like the new thing. Every time H-Box turns to his coach, whoever he's playing against, they always have some kind of like, jokey response to it. Acts with his Pikachu.
Feeling in my gut.
I know, I feel the rest coming.
The clutch box.
S-Fat has played so well this entire set. He's played incredibly safe, only gotten rested twice. And yet, H-Box this whole time, his specialty is always saving that last mix-up for when it comes down to the clutch situation. And there it is.
God.
Catches him with the low pound, descending after the full hop. The Jabbery set to follow up.
And he looks at the crowd and he says, gaze upon thee and see me winner's side top.
Alright, Evo strikes again. Since both players violated the rules, the match will stand. Had only H-Box violated the rules, he would have been DQ'd. Alright, so Evo are basically, or Mr. Wizard, is basically contradicting himself here. In a way. Because if you think about it, right? He does admit, but he do say that they both violated the rules. But since he do say that they both violated the rules, why was, H-Box allowed to continue? Because the first coaching, the only coaching that happened was the after game 1. And then the fake coaching, G Money is running up and like making fun of the situation, which he, to be fair, not should have done. That was pretty silly, even though he didn't coach. But the thing is, the set already should have been over after the first coaching incident. Now, I'm not saying I believe H-Box and Crunch intentionally violated the rules. I think they misunderstood it. I think in the past, it was different. Coaching was allowed for longer in like 2016. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was allowed for longer in 2016. And they changed the rules in 2017. But end of the story is that they did violate the rules, and SFAT honestly should have won the set, or at the very least gotten the game, but probably the set entirely. So this was really, really bad. So yeah, G Money legit did not coach whatsoever, but Crunch did. So yeah, Evo 100% should have enforced the rules. That should have been a DQ.
And to get first place at Monty. But
I will say though, SFAT also should have known. He should have known and called it out. But Evo also should have people present to see if, especially like that, in that point of the tournament. At that point in the tournament, you for sure should have people close by. But yeah, it's partly SFAT's fault for not calling it out as well, for sure.
like that'd be kind of a comeback. It's just like,
So I haven't done that Clarendon yet, but
oh no, not this one.
okay, great. This is what I want to.
Oh, that's a rest.
Oh my god.
That is the tech trap. If Jigs up throws Fox on a platform and you up air him, he tries to tech the up throw, so then he can't tech. I don't know. Not sure what's happening.
What's happening?
He unplugged the controller by accident.
Wait, so Fortune unplugged his controller and then SG paused?
What a nice guy.
What happened? What happened? But cause your controller came out, right? So he paused, so you didn't die? Did your controller come out? He paused because your controller came out.
Wait, so you're making him SD?
No, screw that, dude. Play. Screw.
Yeah, this one is the worst. It's actually hard. It's actually hard to believe that this actually happened. I have seen this one before, but it's hard to believe that this actually happened. Whether the unplugging the controller was intentional or not doesn't really matter. Some people will say it was intentional, some people will say it's probably. Actually, like, just thinking of how he acts afterwards, everything points out towards it being intentional and setting up the pause from the opponent. But that's like how can you do that? It's like you plug out your controller, your opponent is nice enough to, like, you know, basically letting you plug your controller back in and start off from there. It's like, yeah, this one is the worst. I actually don't really have much more to say about it. It's just 100% grimy. 100% grimy.
Screw that, man.
So
your controller came out, so technically you unplugged and you should lose game 1 if that's the case.
Honestly, if I was a TO, I would DQ out of the tournament. Winners and losers.
It is now.
Okay, so let me explain this to you. Okay, so Fortune unplugged controller by accident. SG paused as a courtesy to let him plug his controller back in. And now Fortune is trying to say that SG has the SD because he paused.
No, hey, Ted.
I think
if you unplug your controller, that means you left the game. You ejected from the game. That's some. Oh my God, I am angry. I thought Fortune was a better guy than this. I am so pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm
not gonna lie.
So
this might be the grimiest thing I've ever
I've never heard of the grimiest thing like this.
No. Okay. Do you know the MDVA grime PR that CTL made? This is going on tonight.
This is ridiculous.
I hope CTL is in the chat right now, because
Ted, you better do the right thing
right now.
He unplugged, which means he left the game, and that is.
Yeah, Scott. Oh, are they just playing? Okay, they're just playing. All right.
That's grimy. That's grimy. I'm so angry right now.
I'm sorry. I can't root for Fortune now. Like, I mean, I wasn't like rooting for him anyway, but now I definitely can't root for him because that. I don't know. That is so dumb.
Almost 30 seconds off. Woo! Forward throw. We live it.
I thought we were going to go for the up throw. Actually going for the fourth throw. A little bit of a mix-up. Maybe this time.
Oh my God.
That was clean.
Bullets. He goes for the feint.
There's 20 seconds
left.
Another? People. 20 seconds left. Zach has to win right here. There's the fourth throw.
Yeah, he definitely needs it because Kuma could get a timeout win.
And you can see him kind of going for it. He's definitely.
Oh my God! That is a destruction!
Cody. What? Oh, hold on. Apparently there's a little discrepancy. Wait, what's going on?
Trying to get some news. You got the news, Cody?
You got the news,
Cody? Got the news. We're going to go ahead and throw it to Cody. Cody.
Take it away.
Yeah. Hey, okay, so we're looking at a discrepancy right now. We're not really sure what happened. Como is alleging that the launch rate was not at 1, but at 0.9%, meaning knockback would be affected. We're figuring it out. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's really, really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. I myself have been part of a 0.9 scenario, even though I didn't know it at the time, or for many years even. But yeah, that's such a shame. That's such a shame. I'm not really sure. Yeah, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. I guess the same thing kind of need to be applied, that since no one said, or at least I think so, maybe they say later in the video, but if no one say anything, I guess the results gotta stand regardless of how bad it is. But yeah, I feel bad for the competitors, both winners and especially, you know, people losing. How does point 90 even happen? When, like, at least in Melee, like when you change in the rules, it's very easy that someone accidentally can, you know, swap it. Yeah, probably a misclick. I imagine it's set up similar in Smash 4. So it's like when people, you know, fix the rules that they accidentally change the damage ratio. So it's, yeah, very, very unfortunate. But yeah, I guess... Wow. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Didn't they, like, replay one match or something in this scenario? Like, in this particular scenario?
Was at 0.9 and not the standard 1. Okay, so first of all, how did that happen? Second, that actually does affect a decent amount. I mean, there could have been some kills that did not register. Like that fourth throw. Think about it. That fourth throw, we thought it was going to finish. Did not finish from Captain Zach, and maybe that's why. Are we going to have to replay this set? Is that... Might have to throw it back to him real quick so he can go ahead and announce what's happening right here, because there's a lot of deliberation on this here stage.
All right, Coney's about to talk to the people again. We'll take it away.
Tony talks to the people. Let's go, Coney.
Okay, so we're not replaying the whole set. We're going to reset after that last game, which means Captain Zach is up 2-1, restarting the game. Let's go.
I feel like this is a kind of weird solution to the problem, though. I feel like if you're gonna replay, then you gotta do the whole set, which I guess they didn't have time for due to the schedule, or not replay at all. These type of scenarios, okay, so I think some people probably will bring up the difference with the coaching scenario from earlier in the video. I think that one Evo could have easily enforced just like that, because it was a visible rule violation. But the 0.9, no one very likely saw when this happened, right? It incredibly likely was that someone accidentally swapped to 0.9, which I think makes a huge difference. Which I do think it makes a huge difference personally. But yeah, I guess, yeah, no, yeah, replaying never feels actually like the right call. If you could prove that someone did, like in a hypothetical scenario like this, if you could prove that one person changed it intentionally, then yeah, that person should be DQ'd, obviously, right? And probably more severe consequence than that as well. And by probably, I mean, yes, for sure. But yeah, that's, yeah, that wasn't the case here, though. That wasn't the case here. So, yeah, I probably would say no replay and tough luck. Tough luck. It sucks, but it's probably the least bad option.
Trying to get back. Kind of looks like he's just looking for center stage control right now. Okay, Zach is looking for every possible form of a smash right here. Let's go.
Good DI right there, Zach.
Oh my God.
That is it. Zach was like, I mean, all right, well, we changed the launch rate, and we're done.
So fabulous. Next move better than his X move. Zach actually making short work of him.
Zach had his hands out for a handshake. Como Rikiri just walked right by, my man said.
I can totally understand why he was mad. It was just a very, very stupid scenario. So I can totally understand. Like, at that point, even though Zach didn't do anything wrong, it's like you feel robbed. You feel like your opportunity and chance to advance and possibly even win the tournament, it was stolen from you. So I totally understand why he was that mad.
Wow. TK?
Oh, okay. I'm actually not sure if I agree with that. I think it can be fun when commentators do that, but in this scenario, not too much of a fan. I'm sorry. It's so funny. It's really bad, obviously, but it's so funny at the same time. Yeah, it's just. I mean, this is obviously not, obviously not okay, but it is funny. But my case these days, yeah, he cleaned up his act 100%. He's a very cool guy, but this obviously is not cool. There's probably some people out to this day that will be like, oh, but it doesn't, it's nothing in the rules that claims you can't scream. Alright, yeah, that was all the ones brought up. Wait, I wonder when this one was made. I'm actually surprised the Leffen Chu one was not in. It probably was made before that set then, since it was not in this video, I imagine. Yeah, that's some crazy ones for sure.